First and foremost, I want to give all Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakab Kadash. Double honors to the elders of GMS, well, and peace and salutations to Elect Akim in the four corners, pushing the truth for sincerity. Peace be unto you. This is going into 1 Corinthians chapter 9 and verse 20 and verse 23. Matter of fact, verse 19. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 19. For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself servant unto all, that I might gain the more. Verse 20. And unto the Jews I became as a Jew, that I might gain the Jews. So, Slakia, to them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law. To them that are without law, as without law, being not without law to God, but under the law to Christ, or Hamashiach, that I might gain them that are without law. To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you. Now we're going to read this again and get a little more in depth into exactly what Paul's talking about. Okay, in 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 19, it says, For though I be free from all men, yet have I made myself a servant unto all, that I might gain the more. Now, servant means, damn, that's a big ass rat. A servant means, when he's a servant unto all men, this is basically saying that he's out here laboring, learning the gospel to teach to all men. You know, so he's not just laboring for himself when he says this. Verse 20, it says, And unto the Jews I became as a Jew. Now, of course, we know Paul himself was a Jew. We read that in Romans 10, what is it, verse 3? Or maybe it is 11 and 1. Slaki. This is Romans 11 and 1. I say then, have God cast away his people? God forbid, for I am also an Israelite of the tribe of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. So Paul was of the tribe of Benjamin. Benjamin was of the kingdom of Judah, which was splitting in the 10 tribes, the 9.5 tribes that went up north with Jeroboam. And then you had the southern tribes, which is Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Now, going back to, I think, verse 20, it says, And unto the Jews I became as a Jew. So, of course, he was a Jew. But when it says to the Jews he became as a Jew, meaning he was fully, you know, he was dressed fully as a Jew. He behaved fully as a Jew. You know, like, for instance, you got some of Israelites there, you know, they're a Jew 24/7. You know, they're, you know, fringes 24/7, you know, got they 100% Israelite out. You know, they don't know how to tone it down. Verse 20 says, And unto the Jews I became as a Jew. So when he was around Jews, around his brothers, kind of like how we at camp. We dress according to, you know, we're about to teach. That I might gain the Jews. You know, because you had some Jews that, you know, didn't accept the Messiah at that time, so they need to be converted. And to them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law. So those who were keeping the laws, statutes, commandments, but maybe hadn't received the revelations of Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, you know, he came unto them, you know, because, let me get you something in 1 John real quick. 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. Uh, uh, okay, let me just get verses 1. I thought I could get a better verse in this chapter. 1 John 5:1 says, "Whosoever believeth that Yahushua is Hamashiach is born of God, and everyone that loveth him that begat loveth him also that is begotten of him. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. For whatsoever is born of God overcometh the world, and this is the victory that overcometh the world, even our faith." So it says in verse 3, it says, "For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments." So commandments is something that you know had to keep. And Israel at that time even understood that you had to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. So he came and he was dressed according to the law. He acted according to the law. Verse 20 again, it says, "And unto the Jews I became as a Jew, that I might gain the Jews. To them that are under the law, as under the law, that I might gain them that are under the law." Now, actually, under the law meaning they're under the law of sacrifice, Salakia. Because you do have some people that were, of course you were supposed to follow the laws, but you had some people who didn't believe in Yahushua, so they were under the law of sacrifices. So he acted as if he believed in that, but he was also acting like, kind of like how he's saying, I just learned that there's a guy named Yahushua. He would act like that, kind of like spoon feed them the truth. "To them that are without law, as without law, being not without law to God, but under the law to Hamashiach, that I might gain them that are without the law." So those that are without the law completely, who are basically like heathens, that are Gentile, they're Israelites in the Gentile state of mind, who weren't following the law, statutes, and commandments. "To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak." Because people can relate more to somebody who they feel is on their level. So he acted like he was weak as well, so he can relate to him. "I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some. And this I do for the gospel's sake, that I might be partaker thereof with you." So there was different aspects to Paul. Paul didn't go down preaching down people's throat like that. He didn't just go around, all super Israelite fringed out, from Sabbath to Sabbath, saying, "Hey, brother, don't be doing this. That's got this in it, or that you ain't supposed to be doing that. This is Sabbath, brother." He didn't go around preaching down brothers' throat. So those that were weak, he became weak. Those who were without the law, he was as without the law. So he was basically modest in his approach. Because sometimes, you being a super Israelite, you can turn people off with that. So he says, "To the weak," verse 22, he says, "To the weak became I as weak, that I might gain the weak. I am made all things to all men, that I might by all means save some." So, because there's some people that might be like, man, you kind of spoon feed them like, Illuminati use this, such and such, we're the real Jews. Some people, they can't handle the full-fledged truth just being blasted at their ass. And that's what Paul was basically doing, He didn't just, he fed them in doses, and basically that's pretty much all of this lesson. Verse 24, "Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize? So run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we an incorruptible crown." Okay, so the corruptible crown is the things of this world. The incorruptible crown is the lost, this kingdom that we're going to receive. And on that note, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double on to Elders GMS who were well. Peace and salutation. Shalom.